The Tipping Point with Mike Tipton is brought to you by Dubby. What is Dubby? Dubby is a clean energy drink that is made to give you focus with no crash, jitters, or angst like those other energy drinks have. They also have no maltodextrin fillers and don't use artificial dyes. Dubby contains vitamins, amino acids, a nootropic, and 150 milligrams of caffeine. Dubby's products are made in the USA in an FDA-inspected facility that strictly adheres to GMP manufacturing guidelines. All of the flavors are unique and custom-made by Dubby, and you'll never taste our taste anywhere else. The best part about it is they're affordable. Dubby's drinks come out to about $1 per drink, much cheaper than Starbucks or any of those canned energy drinks. To learn more, visit w.gg.com/discount/MRTipton33 and place your order today. Use promo code MrTipton33 and save today. Dubby Energy, be better. What's going on, everybody? I want to tell you about my new friends over at Cleverman. Visit them online at becleverman.com. What they gave me was the energizing face and beard scrub along with the Cleverman face scrubber. And trust me when I say this, the energizing face and beard scrub smells amazing. Combining it with the face scrubber, making sure that your boy was looking as good and sexy as possible, opened up a whole different sensation in my face that I haven't ever felt before. I felt so clean, so fresh, and so clean, like Outcast said, and it helped me feel like I was ready for my day. Make sure you visit them online at becleverman.com and follow them on Instagram at clevermannyc. The link is up in my bio if you want to check out all the amazing products they have. Visit them online, becleverman.com. What's going on, everybody? It is time for the Tipping Point with Mike Tipton, coming at you live this Monday afternoon, evening, pre-evening, whatever it is you want to call it. We are coming to you live at that point and time. Shout out to everyone that is tuned in over on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, X, Instagram, all of the various channels that we have over here that we are streaming live to for the Tipping Point with Mike Tipton. Please like, subscribe. Ooh, I actually have a new little thing. Like, I've seen it. I haven't hit it ever on the show. Let's see if it works. Oh, there it is. The like and subscribe button. Please like, please subscribe. My dude Ryan Woodcraft saying, what's up, Tip? What's up, Ryan? Having myself a good old time, drinking my pain away. The pain that was given to me by the Dallas Cowboys, drinking it away. Got my Yingling lager here, unofficial sponsor of the Tipping Point with Mike Tipton. They help get me through all of the tough times that it is being a Dallas Cowboys fan, being a fan of sports in general. Since the last time we did anything, Texas Tech loses, the Cowboys lose. It's just been an avalanche of loss and despair for your boy as I'm trying to meander my way through life. The only thing I look forward to, the only thing I have expectations for in sports, and yet somehow, some way, it never comes through fruition. But nonetheless, no one wants to hear me bitching and complaining about sports. They want to hear me just talking about sports. I already got a message. I need to go back and watch Monday Night Raw as soon as we are done with the show today. There's supposed to be some stuff going on Monday Night Raw. I'm doing a show right now. I'm not watching Monday Night Raw, but that's the way that it's supposed to be. We're doing this show. Ryan, how are you feeling? After your Detroit Lions let you down, how are you feeling? I'm not saying that like in a bad way. I'm not saying that to be, a jerk or anything like that. But I feel like for those of us that are supporters of loser teams, especially in the NFL, You got like we've got to make this a support group. A support group. That's what it is. Ryan Woodcraft saying, welcome to the bandwagon for Detroit basketball. Hey, I'm down with it. Let's do it. Ayadi Lopez? I'm sorry. I don't know how to say that name. I'm sorry. But thank you. Hello. Welcome to the show. Over on Instagram, Angie talking about it. Jason A. Gasquignon. I'm guessing that's how you say it. I'm terrible with pronouncing names. And Free to Be Miss America. Thank you all so much for joining the show. We're talking about right now loser franchises. If you have a team that you are proud of, if your team is actually in the playoffs, congratulations. I am happy for you. I hope that your team makes you happy, does all those things like that, because my team is an absolute dumpster fire. Ryan Woodcraft already looking forward to next year with the Lions. Hey, I'm in the same boat, dude. He's like, Lions with a healthy defense and a fourth-place team schedule, next year is our year. I like that. Hitting at the Dallas Cowboys fans that are out there. Next year is our year. As a Dallas Cowboys fan, I'm not even going to say that next year is our year. I don't even know when our year is going to be. The Dallas Cowboys would have to do so much on defense to even make it a halfway viable team. It's wild. It is absolutely wild. Shout out to Jessica who just tuned in over on Instagram as well. The Dallas Cowboys are horrible, guys. I don't even, you know what? I don't want to talk about that. I promised myself that I was not going to turn this into a very Dallas Cowboys heavy show, because we've got Philadelphia Eagles fans, Green Bay Packers fans, Bears fans, Lions fans, Vikings fans, all different types of fan bases represented on this show. So I cannot take it over. Even New England Patriots fans, I cannot take it over with my disgust and disdain of the Dallas Cowboys. This guy, Alfie like Dogman, a life like Dogman, says, no one's watching you leave. I do not care. I'm good with that. I still get paid to do this. Whether you're watching or no one else is, I still do. It's wild how that works, isn't it? Whenever you have sponsored stuff and sometimes all you have to do is wear a hat. It's crazy how that works. Caden over on Instagram saying offense was good, defense needs work. I think that's going to be the undoing of the Green Bay Packers, is how bad that defense looks without Micah Parsons. That's going to be the issue for the Green Bay Packers. I know they just signed Trayvon Diggs. The Dallas Cowboys got rid of Trayvon Diggs. It's wild, right? Like, you get two former Dallas Cowboys. Micah Parsons, arguably, whenever he's healthy, one of the best in the league. Could be one of the best in the history of the league. Alfie saying, believe in yourself, never give up. It's what I do, my guy. Thank you. I appreciate it. Keep the tip on your lips. I'm good with it. That beer tastes better, especially after haters' tears. But whenever you look at the Green Bay Packers, like them signing Trayvon Diggs, you can't really say it's going to be something that helps out the Green Bay Packers in the future, right? Ryan Woodcraft over on Facebook saying, did you hear that Marcus Freeman turned down the New York Giants job? The NFL wouldn't let him pick his own schedule and give them an automatic playoff berth. I mean, hey, I'm with it. Like, I get the joke. I genuinely get the joke. The whole issue that the Green Bay or that the Notre Dame Fighting Irish have, all that. I'm good with it. I'm with it. But it would be cool, like for all the jobs that are open in the NFL right now, that New York Giants job is a fun one, right? That's one that you got to look at and say to yourself, wow, like if a coach were to get that, you're going to get a healthy Cam Scatterboo back, maybe, right? Like the running back position, you're kind of worried about that. You've still got a top 10 draft pick coming up this season. Jackson Dart is looking like that guy. He's just got to mature a little bit. Malik Neighbors is doing his thing, right? Like he's going to come back from the injury. He's going to be great. Like, that's a really good job. Plus, they have a really good defensive line. If I'm a coach, I'm really thinking that the Giants can take that next step forward with the right staff, right? Like with the right coaching staff, with the right people that are there. I'm good with, like, I really think that. And like, I hate saying that as someone that's a Dallas Cowboys fan. Alfie's saying, did you know that Apple was making a new iPhone foldable? No clue. Don't necessarily keep up with all that stuff. What about the Buffalo Bills? As far as the Bills go, they have to, again, like I've said it over the last couple of weeks, with the Chiefs not being there, with the Ravens being eliminated yesterday, do you really trust Denver? Do you really trust New England right now? Do you really trust the Jacksonville Jaguars? Like, look at the teams that are in the playoffs in the AFC. The Buffalo Bills have to have the most pressure on them. And the thing that's going to hurt them the most is that run defense that the Buffalo Bills have. Like, offensively, I think they can score with anybody, with everybody, right? But that run defense, we saw it against, ever since the beginning of the season. That run defense is going to wind up being their Achilles heel. But I think if there's a team that's primed to make a deep playoff run, that has the experience that you want to see make a deep playoff run, it kind of has to be the Buffalo Bills right now, right? At least out of the AFC. Because you'll never have an easier path to the Super Bowl than right now. I'm being asked what kind of camera do I have. This is a Canon Rebel T6i that I've got, and it's just the normal 50 millimeter lens. I got the an AJA HDMI to USB converter that comes into my Alienware computer, if you want to ask about those as well. Jesse Carter saying, bruisies. Ryan Woodcraft saying, speaking of Cam Scattaboo, how about those Duke, blah, 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 blah. Those Duke football Blue Devils and their Sun Bowl win over Cam's Sun Devils. I called it on Selection Sunday for the record. That was an awesome Sun Bowl game. Check out my Instagram at Mr. Tipton 33. Our photographer, Diego, was down on the field. Amazing photos that he put up there as well. It was all those are some amazing photos. It was such a fun game. The last two, we'll just go with the last two Sun Bowl games have been awesome. That third one just 3 years ago, I guess we could say 3 years ago now, where Notre Dame came into town, that was fun just because of the stuff that they've got going on with the Sun Bowl. It's awesome. It has been awesome. Jessica Yuggs laughing at us a little bit. Caden saying, I think the Giants will be good if they stay healthy. That's going to be the thing with the Giants, is staying healthy. Ashley over on Instagram saying, not New York related, but is the rumor I heard about Stefanski true? Yes, it is true. Caden saying, can't wait to hopefully work with the Chihuahuas. If you checked out my social media, I put out something today. We are looking for camera people, all kinds of stuff with the El Paso Chihuahuas. Those that know that I am in a weird position with the El Paso Chihuahuas, looking for a job in minor league sports. This could be your open door. Obviously, if you're living out of town, don't move here for it. But, hey, this could be the open door for you. Alfie asking about the Miami Dolphins. What about the Miami Dolphins? I think they're not going to be world champions 2026. No, I don't think so either. I was really okay. Let's tie some of this in together. I'll get back to the Dolphins here in just a second. The NFL coaching carousel happened a little earlier today. Black Monday. That's what they call it, right? Raheem Morris, Kevin Stefanski, Jonathan Gannon, and Pete Carroll. Those are the coaches that were fired today. Conspicuous with that was not hearing Mike McDaniel, which with Miami firing the general manager at the beginning of the season, or not the beginning, but halfway through the season, whenever Miami was really, really bad, you would have thought that at the end of the season, Mike McDaniel was going to be let go too. And Miami, for whatever reason, kept him. And you kind of feel like Mike McDaniel has been going down this downward trajectory over the last, couple of years, right? That first season in Miami, that amazing offense, we just haven't seen that. And yeah, you can say Tua got hurt, right? Tua with the injuries, Tyreek Hill with the injuries. But even whenever they're healthy, it hasn't been something that you could be happy about if you're a Miami Dolphins fan, right? So I was super surprised that he was still on as the Miami Dolphins coach. And they were talking about it, and, he seems really happy with it. And then the question that was asked was to Tua Tagovailoa, and they said, how would you feel about starting over in another city? How would you feel, Tua, about not being a Miami Dolphin anymore? And the first thing that he said was, yeah, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with it. I think that'd be cool. I'm good with it. I'm happy. I don't care if I'm playing in Miami or somewhere else. If I get to start somewhere else, that'll be dope. That's exactly what he said. Quote, that would be dope. You're on the cusp of not being a starting quarterback in the NFL anymore. And your response to that is, that'll be dope. All right, cool. I guess, right? If that's your mindset, super happy about it. Want to give a shout out to Cassandra, who tuned in over on Instagram, Mixed Cortez as well. And of course, my dude, Flash the Shooter. Y'all need to follow Flash the Shooter on Instagram as well. Putting out some amazing stuff over there. Now he's over in Vegas. My guy, I was looking to see if maybe I can get you a media credential to the Las Vegas Golden Knights. I got to work some stuff out. But if I get you that media credential, I'm going to need you on the show to talk about the Vegas Golden Knights. So maybe we can do it. Pixels to Plastic saying hi. How are you today? I am fantastic. I hope that you were fantastic as well. Making our way through the tipping point with Mike Tipton. Brought to you by our friends over at RevAuto.com. That's a curveball for some people. They thought I was going to say something else. It ain't the time for that sponsor just yet. Use promo code Mr. Tipton 33 at RevAuto.com for all your car care needs, especially when it comes to washing your car. You want to make sure that your car is looking the best it can. Pixel saying, thanks. Is that a WWE belt in the background? It is. So over here, right there, is the Universal Championship that Eddie Guerrero won. And then the belt here, right, is the WWE U.S. Championship, the older U.S. Championship. You can see in the background right here, that right there, Eddie Guerrero. I am in El Paso, Texas. Big Eddie Guerrero fan base here in El Paso, Texas. Alfie saying, bro, I really think that the Dodgers are going to win the 2026 championship more than likely. I mean, I can't see a team that's going to be able to stop them. They're really good. Augustine asking, can I get some UTEP credentials? Why would you want UTEP credentials, Augustine? You just want to be on the sideline hating on the UTEP Miners. That's not fun. That's not fair. Pixels, I'm missing wrestling right now. And that's the thing that's on my mind, is that I'm missing wrestling right now. Like, I should be watching wrestling at this moment. Saying, I bet I loved Mankind. Oh, that Mankind was awesome back in the day. The Mandible Claw, doing all that. Oh, you're going to get me started talking about wrestling. And I don't think, at least not on this show. I have another show, Bob, Jim, and Pat Get Drunk on the Internet, where we talk about wrestling. We watch old wrestling. That's where I normally talk about wrestling. Wrestling right now on this show, I don't really. But hey, you bring the conversation my way, I will carry the conversation whatever way you want me to take it. Alfie saying, I think Orlando soccer team is going to be in the championship and lose. That one right there, I know nothing about, right? Like the MLS, I'm trying to work right now with U.S. soccer to try to get my people some credentials to go cover the games. So I've been on a mission to try to learn about soccer. I cover, like, my job with the El Paso Chihuahuas is also with the El Paso Locomotive, a USL soccer team. So I am learning soccer as we go. I'm just man. Cassandra's saying old wrestling is the best. Oh, it's so good. There is so much cocaine flowing in old wrestling that it makes me so happy. It really does. Augustine saying women love that Sunday show. LOL. Which Sunday show? We're talking about Bob, Jim, and Pat get drunk on the internet? Augustine, your New England Patriots are the number 2 seed in the AFC right now. They win the division. How are you feeling about your New England Patriots? That's the one that I want to ask right there. Because you came into the season, you were a little pessimistic, which I'm not used to. I'm not used to a pessimistic Augustine. How are you feeling now that your team, we're done through the season, done through the regular season, all 18 weeks are done, and your team is now the number 2 team in the AFC? I think the Oklahoma team for soccer is definitely going to lose before the championship even starts. You know more about soccer than I do, Dogman. You know more. Like I will take your advice for it. I didn't even know there was a team in Oklahoma, but I guess it would be like the Oklahoma City FC or something like that, right? I've got no clue. Augustine saying, I'm happy but surprised. Happily surprised. Those are the best types of surprises, Augustine. Not going to lie, I'm surprised that you're not on the show today because this is our first Monday without Monday Night Football. So it's going to be the full hour as opposed to just a half hour. I almost like that's why I almost hit a button earlier because I was so used to it being 15 minutes and I had to think to myself, oh, wait, it's not Monday Night Football. We don't have to worry about Monday Night Football anymore. I also didn't invite you to the show, so I apologize for that. But if you want to come on, Augustine, you can come on. You know I'm always welcoming you on. Love the conversation that we are able to have. The Oklahoma Barn Burners. Is that is that a real team? Is that a real team? God bless it. Fat fingers today, guys. Oklahoma Barn Builders is what I'm seeing. I'm not seeing anything for the Oklahoma Barn Burners. Barn Burners Genetics, I mean. Connecticut. I was thinking about Connecticut. I got no clue. I looked it up here. I'm not finding anything on the Oklahoma Barn Burners. Maybe. I don't know. I'll have to do more research. But that does not feel like a real team. Augustine saying my son has a game. I'm driving. It feels like a million excuses right now, Augustine. But hey, I hope your son has a great game today. Is this a JV game or a varsity game for him? I know he's on both. I think the Buffalo Bills, the Buffaloes, the championship, and the New York Yankees going to lose in the championship. I mean, I can see it that way. Like I said, I really don't feel like there's a team that can hold a candle to the Dodgers. And I'm saying that as a Yankees fan, right? Like I cannot see a team in Major League Baseball that can derail the Los Angeles Dodgers. They're just so much better. Ashley saying she lost me on the gram. Oh no. It says that I'm still streaming on the gram. That's going to be something I got to keep my eyes on. Augustine saying JV tonight. Dogman asking if he can be a moderator. Let's see, you got to come around a little more often to be a moderator. Because if I give that position out to someone else, Tommy, who's not here today, would be upset. You got to come around more than just one time. Augustine saying varsity tomorrow. There we go. That's the way it should be. That is the way it should be. Cassandra let me know we're still good on Instagram. I'm good with that. Awesome. Glad that we're still good over on the Instagram feed, on X, on YouTube. Couple of different places. So I did recently just start a new YouTube channel that's going to be dedicated to, oh, look at this guy. He is the hardest working man in all of sports. Augustine Pimentel joining us from his Tesla.
And I'm actually the prettiest one, too.
I mean, no one's going to debate that.
Of course. Hey, Tipton, I've got a couple of questions for you that I think everybody wants to really sink their teeth at. One, what did you think about the Holly Holm, Stephanie Hahn fight, which ended, I think, in a really controversial way? Because, you know, that cut on Stephanie's head was just a little bit high. I don't think it had that much to do with it. I you know. And second, all these firings, they should have happened in the middle of the season. Why does the NFL wait until the end of the season instead of cutting ties with bad coaches during the season? I mean, one of the most important soccer clubs in the world, Manchester United, let go of their head coach today, Ruben Amorim, right in the middle of the season. So why doesn't the NFL actually have some balls and fire coaches when they have to?
Okay, so the first question, let's go to the Stephanie Hahn question, right? She retains her championship, and I will always say this. If you do not knock out the champion, you are not going to win by a decision. It just never happens that way, right? So you have to beat and decisively beat the champion. So Holly Holm not being able to knock out Stephanie Hahn, sure, you gave her a cut, sure, you did this and that, but in order to be the champ, you've got to be able to lay a hurting on them. And that just did not happen in that match, right? You have to go out and earn it, because if you go to a decision, the weight is always going to lean in the champion's favor because they've earned the right to be able to be looked at that way, right?
Yeah, but Holly Holm has one of the, you know, her career spans so many years as well. I mean, I think I don't buy that argument right now. I mean, if it was a different champ with you know, Stephanie has 13 fights in her name, I think she's done great. But Holly Holm is almost an institution, all of it in itself.
You can say that whenever it comes to like Holly Holm's overall career compared to Stephanie Hahn's career, right? But you got to remember, one of them is an actual boxer. The other one's coming from an MMA background. Nobody likes somebody from another sport trying to come in and take over. Right? Like we've seen that with Jake Paul. We've seen that with wrestling when Ronda Rousey went into wrestling, doing all that stuff. We saw it in the MMA, the way that Brock Lesnar was getting hated on when he first joined the MMA. Oh, you're not a real fighter. Whenever you change your sport, especially in combat sports, you have to be able to put a hurting on people. And Holly Holm just did not do that.
I think that's one of your weakest arguments ever. I mean,
well, no, I mean,
Holly Holm.
That's always been boxing. In order to be the champ, you have to take the champ out, and they just it didn't happen. And how many times did we see, like, even Golovkin and Canelo, right? When Canelo had the belt and Golovkin's going after him, Golovkin needed to knock him on his ass in order to say, I dominated this match. But he just didn't do that. I thought Golovkin won the match, right? Because Golovkin landed more power punches. He landed more jabs and stuff like that because Golovkin's a volume puncher. But he didn't knock out the champ. You have to take out the champ at all times in order for the belt to be changed over. Other than that, it never happens in boxing because that's how boxing has been for the entirety that I've watched boxing.
Yeah, but this I thought was a different thing because at the end of the day, Holly Holm has earned the respect of a lot of people. She is one hell of a fighter. I mean, I would not want to be in a stray alley with her being mad at me. But I don't know. I just thought that win was, dare I say, very cheap. It was I mean, the boxing was great. I got to, I was asking you to do a play-by-play or something like that because I was actually out of town. But I found this little hole in the wall in Albuquerque that they had the zone, and I saw the fight. They went at each other. It was a great fight until she got hit in the head with like that. So. A good fight ruined by a cut.
I mean, you could say that, like, and I can understand, right? Like, this is where I think boxing has their biggest issue is the judge's decision is always looked at wrong by everybody, right? Like, we look at the scorecards and we'd be like, man, the fight I saw was closer than that. Boxing has always been tarnished by, judging and all that stuff, right? Like, that's always been an issue in boxing. So for me, it's just like to go in there is to make sure you knock somebody the F out. Like I know it sucks to say it that way. Like there's other options than just that, but sometimes you got to just knock a motherfucker out, right? Like there's no nice way of saying it. You got to say it that way. Go in there and take their belt. You cannot rely. We know this with boxing. You cannot rely on a judge's decision. Go in there, lay them on their back, walk out with your new championship. Now you said that you watched this fight at a little hole in the wall, right? Did you go all the way in, or was it just the tip?
I just want to put the tip in.
It's time for
Just the Tip.
That would make me uncomfortable.
Promise that it ain't too much, but just enough. Just a tip. Just a tip.
Just the tip. Just the tip.
It's time for Just the Tip.
Just the Tip is brought to you by our friends over at www.myhappynuts.com. Go check them
Mis
out.
nueces felices.
Use promo code Mike Tipton at checkout and save on all your male grooming needs. I have the amazing smelling Big Wood body wash. Guys, ever since I've been using this, it lives up to its name. Trust me, your wood will be the biggest it possibly can. www.myhappynuts.com. Use promo code Mike Tipton at checkout and save on all your male grooming needs. I hate that I did that entire joke with Augustine's son in the car.
Hey, I'm by myself in the car, so no problems. You didn't do a Tommy.
Oh, good. We are good on that one. Tommy gave me a little bit of love on a Monday. Dogman saying, I'm leaving if you're going to talk about boxing. Sorry, my guy. Like, that's just the way it goes. We take the show the way we take the show, right?
And here's another question for you, Tip. And I know boxing has become this quote unquote sport of the questionable kind, which is really, really bad for the sport that everybody thinks it's basically fixed. So here's my question for everybody. Are you still going to spend $60 a pop for fights, or are you looking forward to this Netflix thing that is going to take over boxing, and now boxing is going to be included in packages?
I think most people are going to be excited about losing the whole pay-per-view model, right? Like the WWE has shown that you don't need to have pay-per-view anymore, right? Like you team up with a streamer. If you want to watch, certain matches and stuff like that, you go ahead and do your thing. I feel like UFC really missed out on a golden opportunity whenever they teamed up with Disney, because they could have made those matches on the UFC, just part of your subscription. Instead, you had to have an additional subscription after you already subscribed, and you're giving the more hurdles you give people to jump to get to your product, the more opportunity you're giving people to not care about your product. You know what I mean? Like if I have to go to like 6 screens to find whatever fight that I'm looking for, is that fight worth me actually watching? You know what I mean?
That's why this show is free.
Exactly, and it'll always be free. The last time I got paid to do this has been a while. Well, I guess not. I still have sponsors, so I've got that going for me. But I'm not in the radio anymore, which has freed me up to be able to actually talk the way that I talk on a normal basis, right? But that to me is the model that I think combat sports are going to have to go to from now on. Is that it has to be teamed up with a streamer to make it easier for their fans to get there.
Is there a danger, though? And this is a question for everybody out there. Is there a danger for, maybe the AFC gets taken over by Netflix and the NFC gets taken over by, I don't know, Amazon Prime or Disney or whoever, that, that it will turn into one of these things of, it's really a pay-per-view in the kind of sense of you're only going to pay for these teams, and the other ones you're not going to have an idea unless you pay for another streaming service.
So
is there a danger of that?
I've been on this topic for a while. I don't know if I've had this conversation with you or not, but I know I've definitely had it before in the past. I think that eventually we are going to get to a point where the Super Bowl is a pay to watch product, right? Like it's be on a streamer. I think the NFL can get by just having, the regular season on whatever damn channel you want to have the regular season on like the generic stuff that you always do, right? But eventually I feel like the playoffs and especially the Super Bowl are going to be put behind a paywall. And the thing is we will all find ourselves behind that paywall, right? Like the way that we love the NFL, we will find ourselves behind that paywall. And the only thing that's stopping the NFL from doing it right now is the fact that they have these massive TV contracts, right? Like if you peel back the curtain on everything, how many times have we seen the whole thing with Comcast, right? Or with whatever your cable provider is, or even Hulu or whatever, of, well, we're not going to have ESPN anymore. We're not going to have ABC because of blah, 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 blah. What people don't realize is that is driven by sports and how much money sports brings into the overall revenue of what these, streamers and TV and all that make, right?
You mean it's not what's that show? It's not Saturday Night Live or any of that? Come on. Don't burst my bubble here.
And that's the thing, right? Like at the end of the day, it's all a business. But let's be first and foremost here. There is nothing in law that says that your NFL team should be on free TV for you, right? Like that it should be that way. If anything, the NFL is behind the 8 ball on this. I'm surprised that we're not already there where we have to pay in order to watch our favorite sports team, right? Now, luckily,
college sports is there. College sports is already there.
Yeah, and they should be, right? Like, again, if you're that fanatical about your team, you will find a way to watch your team. The amount of times that I have to go in and try to find a Spurs game or a Texas Tech game, and like I'm looking around trying to find these things, but you know what? My goofy ass finds where they're at, and I'll pay for FanDuel Network because I want to watch the San Antonio Spurs play, right? I pay for Netflix because I like to watch wrestling. And Monday Night Raw is now on Netflix, even whenever it wasn't. And you had to worry about ESPN, and you had to worry about Peacock, and you had to worry about Netflix, and like all those other things. I had all of those services because me as a fan, I wanted to watch what I wanted to watch. It ultimately comes down to us whenever the NFL and these other sports leagues decide that they want to pull the trigger on this. It's going to be up to us to be like, okay, this is where my line is. I'm not going to pay for this. But you know what? You're going to go a week without paying. You're going to hear everybody talk. And you might go one more week without paying. And you'll hear everybody talk. And that third week, I guarantee you, your ass is going to be there paying for that product.
Will there ever be a day where the NFL just goes, hey, we're going to start our own channel and all the games are going to be through there? NFL.com or NFL, whatever the name of the that channel is. There's an NFL channel, Could there come a day where, let's say, NBA just takes over, and hey, you want to watch a game, NBA.com. You want to watch a football game, NFL.com. You want to watch, Piers Morgan go up against Ricky Gervais, go to, whatever it is.com that it's going to be. Are we headed that way where entertainment is no longer accessible to the general public? And how dangerous is that?
I can see a world where that does happen, but that would happen after you get the bubble that bursts with how much networks are willing to pay for, broadcast right? Like that's the driving factor behind all this. And then if you're the NFL, well, look at how much money you're saving on infrastructure and paychecks whenever you don't have to worry about broadcasting your own product. Nonetheless, you don't have to worry about 16 games of your own product. You just latch on to someone else's product and then go that way, right? So you're fine with, you guys do all the heavy lifting, you guys create the infrastructure, you guys create the sales, but you give us the money, right? Like that's the smart avenue for this. So until that bubble bursts where TV broadcasters are like, look, the NFL is at, like, look at how much Amazon paid for one shitty Thursday night game a week. It was $10.5 billion for one shitty game a week. Yeah, so we give the Dr. Evil, the $10 billion for one shitty game a week. That shows you how much money is in the NFL, right? Look at how much money Amazon and NBC paid to get the NBA, which is the second place league in the United States, right? It was upwards $30 billion because of the amount of games.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, I'm telling the guy I'm giving him my ID right now.
Look at that, Augustine, VIP Augustine.
Yeah, of course. I get my own little, parking space, and it's being special is nice.
You're very special to us.
Being part of the 87% is good.
Tommy going back to talking about the NFL going behind a paywall saying, good thing my team is never in the Super Bowl. It saves me money.
Or the playoffs. But anyway.
Well, I mean, we stopped talking about boxing, but we're talking about like the NFL, but we're talking about money, right? Like we're talking about broadcasting rights and stuff like that. So I don't know if you want to be back for that. Sports business to me is so fascinating. It's always been so fascinating because you think about the amount of money and things like that as well.
Yeah, the amount of money and the amount of, just the smart way all these leagues come about it to actually make money. And the thing is, a lot of people don't understand, though, a lot of that money goes back into the communities, which is the cool thing. There's a lot of programs out there to teach kids, football and sports and all kinds of things. So, that is a really cool way to give back for the leagues. Now, I'm going to say this, and I hope a lot of people don't crucify me over this one. But what about your local schools? What about your Division I, Division IIs, or whatever? Are they being part of that community as well? And how can they get their greedy little hands into some kind of pile of money? Because here locally, at least in El Paso, our local university has no idea how to do it, first of all. So how are universities kind of like piggybacking on this idea of actually putting some money in their coffers and stuff, especially in this brand new NIL kind of age?
So that's the thing, right? Is like you see how many colleges that are out there, and I don't want to sound like I'm talking negative about like local colleges or anything like that, but how often do you hear about them doing something in the community, right? And I'm not just
Never. Here in El Paso, Texas, where we're at, Tip, never. UTEP is not part of the community, and that's why people don't buy into it. And there are only the diehards that go to the games.
But that's the thing I was going to say is like it's not just a UTEP only type thing. It's you know, a lot of other places I've been. Now you can go to like Alpine, Texas, and go to Sol Ross, and Sol Ross is ingrained in that community, but they kind of have to be. You go to like FAU, they're not all over Miami because Miami doesn't really claim FAU, and I guarantee blew somebody's mind where I told them that FAU is in Miami, right? Like there's a lot of people that don't realize this stuff. So the bigger colleges don't necessarily have to ingratiate themselves to the community because they've always been able to survive on we're the only thing here, right? Like look at College Station with Texas A&M. College Station doesn't have anyone that they're competing with, right? UTEP doesn't necessarily have anybody that they're competing with. They're the only Division I product really in this area until New Mexico State started getting better, right? So now New Mexico State has to capitalize on that to build their fan base. But whenever you're UTEP, and you can say we've been quote unquote the best product for college athletics for what, a 600-mile radius? Literally, where's anybody else going to go?
Yeah, exactly. And you know what's sad in this NIL kind of age, Tipton, and then UTEP is, and I'm going to say this out loud, and I'll admit it, it's a basketball-rich tradition, and it really is. And if you don't see it, then you don't know basketball. But, for example, one of the former players of UTEP, and you know him, Tip, Antoine Gillespie. And Antoine has the number one prep and the only prep school in Europe where he's producing really great players. And you know, there's some people around town that have told Golding, that have told Center about this, and they won't go visit them. They won't go visit Antoine Gillespie in Switzerland.
That's wild. So that I didn't know. I want to get to a comment real quick saying that, did you know that the NFL just got a new owner in 2025 called Mr. Beast? I know who Mr. Beast is. I also know a ton about the NFL. And the NFL, if you were to buy the entire league, would cost you over $250 billion. That's billion.
Oh, that's Trump money. Now that we have Venezuela.
Mr. Beast is worth $500 million. That would not make him a minority owner in the NFL. So come on, my guy. If you're going to come on this show, get your facts right. That's all I ask. Get your facts right. But,
yeah, man. Don't be a Cowboy fan.
What was that?
Don't be a Cowboy fan. Get your facts right.
I mean, I'm a Cowboys fan. Come on now. I always come factually correct, even if I'm wrong about it. I'm glad you got that.
Yeah. Some of our wrestling buddies are going, hey, what's going on? Anyway,
all I know is
I just like the oil. Anyway, it just seems to me that with NIL coming up in college sports and all this, we're coming at a crossroads in the fans, not just the players, but the fans are going to have to make decisions on what they're going to start watching. And that's dangerous for those sports that are not, the big sports like hockey or like, maybe track and field or whatever. Who's going to, are those sports going to be on PBS? Well, PBS might be going down the drain anyway, too. But that, there's only so much money a family makes. And with everything getting more expensive and, there's going to be a thing where we go, well, my team's going to play this week, but I don't have enough money for it. So I think we're reaching a really dangerous part for the fans. For the fans.
And we've seen, ever since COVID, we've seen the dangerous precedent set of, colleges getting rid of athletic programs. Like it's been an epidemic that's been going on. Swim teams, track teams, all kinds of things being left behind.
UTEP got rid of the women's tennis team.
Exactly, and you look at that aspect of it. Like, to me, that's where the business of NIL is coming in and really killing the amateurism and the potential of other college athletic programs. Because now you have, you might not have ever made it pro if you're going to be on the tennis team. Like, let's just be honest about that. But it gave you a chance at an education. And that's what really college athletics was supposed to be about in the first place, was giving people a chance at getting an education. Now you're kind of worried about, how much money is my brand going to be able to make? And, being someone that's a former teacher, I've seen a bunch of times where it's, I go in the classroom and you're trying to, introduce yourself to these kids. And the first thing they tell you is, oh, I want to be a YouTube influencer. Okay, that's cool. But do you realize how much goes into that? Like the amount of money that is spent on a team to get you where you need to be, if you really want to make any kind of money as a YouTube influencer. And it's
you can't be just pretty like me. That's hard.
And you can't have a sexy ass voice like mine. That's why.
You can.
I got people watching the show right now.
You can, Tip. How's my voice there?
Yeah, I mean, you know how it goes.
But it's really hard. And then if they want to be influencers, they can't even influence their buddies in school, and they want to be influencers. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, it's the way that it works. It's the weird world that we're living in, my friend.
I mean, Jericho's already beating you up, so.
Well, he's bigger than both of us, so. All I've got is my voice. If he gets a deeper voice than me, I'm screwed. It's his house. Like, he gets to pay the bills. He's worried about the mortgage. It's all on him.
I just hope Jericho doesn't go, "Hey, Dad, what's the tip?" Oh man,
that went dark quick.
Jericho's gonna kick our butt, and Destiny's right behind him. But anyway,
100%.
No, it just and all this talk, and I understand boxing, and I understand pay-per-views from before and all that, but I think we're getting to a dangerous time. A dangerous time, not just for the fans, but also for the survival, and like you said, Tipton, for the survival of those real amateur sports.
Yeah,
and for the opportunity for a lot of people to go to a good university and get a good education. And you've got kids, I've got kids, and what if one of them comes out, good enough to play Division II, Division III, and maybe Division I? What's going to happen to the opportunity if we didn't play the card rights with NIL? It's really a stressful part for everybody going into college, especially if you're an athlete. And then what if you're just a regular student? I mean, you're bound by the laws and bylaws sometimes because of these schools that make so much money in sports. I'm talking about the Alabamas, all those schools where you're almost obligated, to be part of the community of sports. So I think NIL was a huge mistake by the NCAA, and pay-per-views and all that. Yeah, it's a great way to make money, but there should be some other ways to make decent money and not going over the cusp, and being fair to the fans. Which, I mean, in all honesty, without the fans, there's no such thing as money in sports. And because advertisers might pay a lot of money, but what if the advertisers don't see their return, but people watching their commercials? It's a hard pill.
But that's the thing, right? It's like if you have an advertiser that says, "Okay, I'm not getting the ROI on my investment," you know who's going to be there? Another advertiser right behind them, and they'll be more than willing to pay the price for just a tiny bit of exposure. That's what it's all about right now, right? Like it's all about, let's get my product out there, my brand out there. Look at how many shitty products we see put a commercial on during the Super Bowl, right? That you never hear of again because they spent their whole nut on putting a product on the Super Bowl, right? So
yeah,
lose one advertiser. Oh no, I've got a line of 50 of them behind it. So that's kind of the downside about it, because again, like the power that sports has is the ability of, it's the only thing in anybody's life that is still appointment viewing. Everything else we can get on demand whenever the hell we want. Sports is the only place where you can show up at a set time and you have to be there. Otherwise you're left out of the conversation.
And I'm probably going to date myself here, Tip, but back in 2010, when I was finishing up a master's degree, I had a great professor at UW, Robin Grambling, we were talking about, and this was when the 30 seconds for the Super Bowl were worth $1 million. And it was this $1 million for 30 seconds. And then you figure, plus the production, plus this, plus that, $1.5 million is going to cost you for one commercial. And now what's the going rate for 30 seconds? $7.5, $8 million?
Yep.
For 30 seconds. I mean, that's what she said too, but still.
All right, Augustine, I appreciate you joining the show, my guy. Everybody else, I want to thank you so much for tuning in to today's show. We'll be back tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody. Have a great Tuesday. We'll see you all then.
See you, people.